Hello. I appear to be having all sorts of interesting problems with recording this one for some reason. Anywho, I actually ran into a problem where I was having that choppy issue. So, well, that was a problem. Basically, it just kept going and recording a few seconds and stopping, and yeah.
The gates linking affected blocks of the facility have been sealed.
So that wasn't great. So this is like attempt 3 through the beginning of it.
Gate locks one by one. Eliminate any opposition you encounter.
Yeah, and this one they added this cool eye glowed
Area secured. Proceed to be blocked.
blur effect. Looks really cool with this head. But yeah, between the emulator crashing and other such problems, I'm hoping that can be figured out. Otherwise, I'm not sure what to do about that. I think the problem may have actually just been because I was having some encoding going on in the background. I think that's what it said it was doing. Doing the thing where it converts one bit of the video into another bit of the video, and it's a bunch of stuff that I don't really understand, but the button says how I can do it, so I just pushed the button to make technology happen, and it did. I always felt like there should be a hidden part at the end of the hallway, but the only hidden part here is to beat it under a minute, I think.
A raven!
Yes, they say the bird fire you.
Destruction of all targets confirmed.
Okay, you get a sniper rifle for finishing early. I was trying to make it to the door, but I usually get stuck in that corner. Interestingly, I don't think they reuse this facility. Seems like it should have more going on there. Yep, so you get that rifle for a quick finish. So this is the mission with the robot hobos.
Enemy strength is unknown. Proceed with...
Robo hobo. He's here to squat on your land. And ask for missiles, I guess? I don't know. Not exactly sure who would go and, squat in this pretty Detroit-looking place with this kind of, setup, but whatever floats their boat. In all fairness, everything about Silent Lion, they just kind of took it up to 11. Everything moves faster, energy's more forgiving. Parts are a little bit better. I think in some cases, they added a lot of kind of stopgap parts, or just recolored versions of old weapons. Like that rifle I picked up, I believe, is just a lightweight version of the heavy rifle from before. I mean, it gave a little bit of freedom, and it kind of caused you to start off with more or less ghetto versions of the guns you already wanted. So I think they were saying like some kind of weapon ban was in place. Temporarily weapons were made to kind of suck so they wouldn't have an insurrection or something like that. It's kind of a cool bit of load up. Yeah, as you can see, I can just go and slide on the ground much longer than before. It makes rocketing stuff in this one so much easier. Plus it runs smoother too. So the last one you had like in 3 you have a little bit of jank when you're moving your stick left and right there. And I believe it's that way in both versions. But it's especially noticeable when actually playing on a regular PSP. Because it wants to detect the hard left and right. So yeah, if you beat that quickly, you get a special handgun. And now, just gonna do the first couple of arena fights. You get a couple new maps. Lose the Reservoir, I believe, in this one. It gets replaced with Treen City. Completely missed this almost stationary target. It's actually kind of funny because, like, reflexively you get used to stuff moving left and right, so you're just automatically anticipating it. It gets all weird to hit a stationary target. Like, even the one later on, the mission where you aim for the generators, kind of annoyed me one time because I was going through it and pretty much kept completely missing this giant friggin' like water tower sized thing sitting right in front of me. But such is life. Actually, if it was, that'd be quite frustrating. Although I guess we do fail very obvious things on a very regular basis. I guess if humanity was anywhere as competent as we'd like to be, well, life would probably be pretty dang boring at that point. We pretty much never have wars or problems or anything other than overpopulation, which we probably would figure out with some overconfidence anyway. So, he loses pretty easily. I was actually preferred to do this arena bit right before fighting him in the mission. Can you imagine that kind of day, like you wake up in the morning, get completely wrecked by somebody who has parts they shouldn't have, get called out and like, well, somebody's causing a traffic issue. So that's basically what's going on here. I mean, basically just somebody stepping on traffic. Look how we had a car pilot. And it froze again. Crapola. Try to load this thing. I don't know why it's having this problem. I'm assuming it has something to do with the recorder. But, let's see. Just try not using a Claire, maybe that helps? I don't know. Nope. Looks like I'm actually just plain not doing that mission. So, obligatory submarine mission it is. There's a guy that pointed out on Raven's voice a while ago. Oh, this thing is really causing the issues here.
Raven, an enemy force has boarded the sub.
Okie doke. So, trying again. Looks like a lot of people actually have this problem. So, these two in particular are the ones that are bugged. So, escort transport, if you look left upon leaving the door, it crashes for some reason, and apparently distract security team does the same thing. So, who the hell knows? Anywho, this one is pretty near impossible on a manual run, if I recall, because you have a really hard time seeing, and they hide in the trees. And it's super easy normally. We're just gonna go for this one instead. So, of all of these guys, I always find Carbon to be the most useful, because he can actually take out the guys that are coming through the doors. I mean, when it comes to this one, all you're really doing is they come through the doors, you have to hit the walking guy. So those flying guys don't matter, Carbon will take care of them. It's only the walking ones that can actually place the bombs. So you get a bazooka, I believe, a lightweight bazooka, if you complete the thing without any bombs being planted. Plus, you'd think they would have a more subtle way of doing this. Plus, it's kind of a neat touch if you take a bunch of damage and he doesn't, and he asks if you're okay. Actually, that might be a P-shoot too. It's funny how they have that quiet dialogue you probably would never hear unless you're actually playing with headphones. But the only complaints I saw for freezes were on those two missions in particular. So what I'm hoping for is that we won't run into any issues like that again. And yeah, I think the radar is actually noticeably better on this head, so I'm just going to stick with it. You know, standing still with the fire there in case he gets my way. I'm pretty sure one or two of my rockets will take Carbon out. So it's pretty easy with kind of a punny name and a vicious circle. Gotta appreciate that. So Like, as long as you have a good one-shot, like, if you have something that can do reasonable damage to these guys, you're good. That's pretty sweet music, too. It's actually one of the ones I've saved on my driving playlist.
The enemy's withdrawing. Good work.
Mission objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.
Spud here is looking like some kind of bizarre weightlifting deer at this point. Yeah, so there's your lightweight bazooka. Or actually, that might be the expanded ammo one. What are you, gun? Yeah, it's the expanded ammo one. I mean, the two flavors they came in are reduced weight and expanded ammo. So you get different multicolors of your guns for whatever you really need. Bouquet isn't much of a challenge, unless you're like a really close-up machine gun build. I think that was the only time I've actually had issues with her. Because she does aim slightly ahead, you know, as if she did have a lock, and a couple of bursts that quad rocket thing she's got going on would be too painful. Speaking of which, I won't be using the rocket arms, A, because they're terrible, B, because they'd have worse cooling, C, would end up with less ammo overall, and D, because it would throw away the shield. So it would be a net loss for pretty much no benefit. They don't actually do enough additional damage to justify it. I really like this guy's build, and story for that matter. The pure missile build talks about how they basically survived a bunch of stuff. Remind me of the guy with all the AS missiles in FA, and I think he was in 4 as well. Honestly, I forget 4 exists, and yeah, it's the only one I actually went and got rid of on purpose. I have all the rest of them sitting on my shelf. Just 4 I had to get rid of. It was just kind of an abomination. Like all the other ones I could tolerate, that one just... FA did everything it did, but actually did it right. So I saw no reason to keep it on my shelf. I mean, for collection's sake, I might actually go and pick it up again for probably $1.50 or whatever I'd find it for. But not a fan of that one. So one of my favorite features that they did for Silent Land, they changed the arena music to be random. So it just loops, well, not loops, but it just cycles through all the different tracks that it can do. So like when it has the artificial line one, the fight automatically gets more awesome. Which curve am I compensating for, just to figure out which way you want to hop at. I forget it. Bum rush. That's gonna work in a lot of cases. It's actually kind of fun to do. Space Dome. Why not? like the Space Dome. It's just the same arena all over again, except it opens up into space. And I love it when they do... Oh, crap. Fittingly, apparently most of the... Okay, it's getting all janky again. Apparently most of the different arena parts are screwed, so hopefully the factory isn't. But... yeah, the, looks like the city, the military district, and the, spaceport at least are kind of messed up. So I'm actually looking into just switching over to the PS2 version. Because it doesn't seem like anyone's been able to find any solutions. Which is not great. Now, personally, I'm just wondering if it has some problem rendering some far-off objects. Because it seemed like maybe there's a problem with a particular texture or something. Because on the submarine, like when it started having issues there, it uses those faraway, you know, background textures outside of the window. Over in the transport one, it has all of those, you know, kind of background cityscape kind of things. But the only texture I can think of that it actually would apply to the spaceport too, but I'm not really sure why that would change anything, because other than some of the effects, I can't really think of what they changed since then. I don't know. But anywho, Gimlet is kind of your first gimmick fight guy. He's all about the ammo spam. Strangely enough, he doesn't seem like firing anymore. Says immediately before being fired upon. I'm kind of surprised he's doing this. Normally he just goes straight for you. Maybe the stagger from the rockets put him out of his or put him out of his usual thought process or something. Yeah, I'm hoping somebody from ACL will just reply to me about the whole emulation thing already, because I understand that some of them may have had some sort of solution, at least when it came to Last Raven. So I'd assume the same would apply here. I hope. Well, it doesn't seem like there's too much communication coming back from there. It's been a couple days now. Hopefully they end up replying. It seems like a lot of the ACs that get killed off in this game, and frankly it seems like they just start killing off characters like it's freaking Game of Thrones pretty early on. Actually, probably getting a no-one-killed run might be an interesting way to go about this, this particular episode of the series. So yeah, she gets killed off later. As, like, let's see. I think so far 4 of the arena fights can die during the story. I think there's only like 3 or 4 that you actually can't save, and then no matter what you do. One of which is Porcupine, but honestly, what was he expecting? Those blade arms are terrible. I mean, they're fun, but terrible. And yeah, mileage is kind of Gimlet's opposite. He's the one that basically never shoots. His sniping can get a little annoying. But if you can snipe back, he's not much of a problem. If I recall, it's mostly jump shots with this guy. So he usually does plinky damage with his rifle and then overheats with mid-missiles. And he has the long blade on him, so it's not particularly threatening. I mean, I guess there's some use for it, but I'm a little surprised they made it so weak. Like, compared to the other ones, if you're going to be close range anyway, you might as well, you know, go full hog with it. I don't think a few extra feet's going to make that much of a difference. Because I've legitimately tried to implement that run, or that blade into several runs, and it doesn't matter. You get very slightly more distance, but that extra little cut is not going to be, you know, anything remotely consequential enough to actually change any fights. At least so far as I've seen. It seemed more useful in LR. Slightly. This guy's a fun build, but only possible in SL. We use all howitzers. It works out great for him, as you can tell. Cool design, though. I mean, he does basically spam giant fireballs everywhere to get close. It seemed downright embarrassing to actually get the Howitzer cannons, like the ones on the back. Find out they actually had to kneel for them. Felt like kind of a missed opportunity, because honestly, if they made those non-kneelable ones, it would have been so good for their weight. I was all excited when I got them, and nope. Gotta kneel down. Because apparently this completely random firing weapon is gonna need more stability. Seems like they could have just fixed the whole stability issue altogether by just having them stick out of the core or something. Just have hip guns. Or boob guns or something. Oh yeah, Ori also dies. Let's see the kill count so far. Okay, so he dies. He dies. Doesn't participate. I think he can die. Does die. Can die. Don't think so. Can die. Don't think so. Can't. Potentially already could have. And doesn't. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5 and gonna be 6. So yeah, the good majority of them so far potentially can die in the story. I wish. Alright, gonna try this one. I don't see it going well. Can get 2 helpers, maybe they'll figure it out and I'll just kind of putz around and take all the credit. Actually no, this isn't as bad as I remember. But they don't show up on radar, do they? Yeah, I don't think they do. Okay. I got one of them. Like I said, it's a little hard to tell what the hell's going on here. And there? Yeah, there he is.
That's all of them.
Oh.
Nice work, Raven.
Okay, that went better than expected. I thought I killed my own guy there for a
Mission
second.
objective achieved. System switch to normal mode.
Doesn't seem like they have as much thought put into where people are in this one, though. Like, compared to 3. And I think that's the upgraded ammo pulse gun? Or double pulse gun? Yeah, now the constant saving must be getting annoying, but hell. If it's gonna crash all the... Great, okay, so... that's nice. I guess it's not actually completable in the current state. Okay. Guess I ought to go do something about that. So I guess that's all until I can figure out what to do here.